Target's Good and Gather had 2 FDA recalls, one for listeria, that's the bacteria that actually kills people, one for a hidden allergen that could close someone's throat. Most buyers were never told. No text, no email, not one notification from the app they used to buy it. And the reason nobody reached out, that's the part that got me. Picture a completely normal Tuesday. You're at Target, red cart. You're moving through the food section and you grab a Good and Gather meal kit or a chicken salad. Maybe you've bought it before. Maybe it's a new one you're trying. Either way, you grab it because the packaging looks clean, the ingredient list is short, the price is reasonable, and most importantly, it has Target's name on it. You don't read every word on that label. Nobody does. You don't need to. Target's name is the shortcut. Somebody over there already checked this. That's the entire psychological transaction happening when you drop a store brand into your cart. You are outsourcing your trust to a retailer whose stores you've walked into your whole life. You get to the register, you pay. The meal kit goes into the bag goes into the car, and 40 minutes later, it goes into your fridge. Maybe you eat it that night. Maybe it sits there until Wednesday. Maybe your kid eats it for lunch. Here is what you did not know in that moment. That product had already been flagged. The recall was live. It was documented in a federal database at the exact moment you were standing in that aisle. And not one alert fired. Not one notification reached your phone. Not one email landed in your inbox. Because the system that exists to protect you in that exact situation was never designed to find you. That Tuesday happened to real people. Let's go through exactly what they didn't know. First recall, 2021. Certain Good and Gather ready-to-eat chicken products, specific salads, specific meal kits, flagged for potential Listeria monocytogenes contamination. The FDA has a classification system for every recall they issue. Class 3 means the risk is low. Class 2 means there is a real possibility of harm. Class 1, the highest level they have, means the FDA has determined there is a reasonable probability that consuming this product will cause serious injury or death. The Good and Gather chicken recall was Class 1. That is not buried information. It is sitting in the FDA enforcement database right now. Has been the whole time. Public record, fully searchable, and most people who purchase those exact products have never once seen it because nobody sent it to them. Now, Listeria. I want to stay here because I think most people hear bacterial contamination and their brain automatically files it under food stuff happens, whatever, and moves on. Do not do that here. Dr. Don Schaffner is a food scientist at Rutgers University who has spent years specifically studying how foodborne pathogens behave. Here's the thing he has pointed out that genuinely stopped me when I read it. Listeria monocytogenes grows at refrigerator temperatures, not slows down, not stays stable, actively grows. While your food is sitting at the exact temperature you deliberately set to keep things safe, Listeria is multiplying. Most pathogens you can fight with heat. Cook the meat all the way through and you have protected yourself. That option does not exist with ready-to-eat products, salads, meal kits. Prepared foods you pull directly from the container. No cook step at home, no second line of defense. You open the package and eat, and whatever is in there goes directly in. Here's what that means in practice. In 2011, before Good and Gather existed, a Listeria outbreak linked to cantaloupe killed 33 people across 28 states. That remains one of the deadliest foodborne illness outbreaks in U.S. history. The CDC tracked it, the FDA documented it. It is public record. And the mechanism was identical. Ready-to-eat produce, no heat step, Listeria that had been growing in cold storage the entire time. That is what Class 1 on a ready-to-eat product actually means when you put it in context. The recall notification is the only protection that exists. There is nothing downstream of it, no second chance, no backup system. And for most people who bought those Good and Gather products, that notification never arrived. That person standing in the Target aisle read the Good and Gather label and it said safe. So they bought it. Because that is what you do when the label says safe. The label was wrong. The FDA does not require a confirmed injury to pull a product for an undeclared allergen. Documented risk alone triggers the recall. But here's the brutal logic inside that fact. It means the recall can be issued, resolved, marked closed in the federal database, and the person with the milk allergy who already bought that product and has it sitting in their fridge at home still has no idea. Not because anyone buried it, because no one was required to find them. So here's the question I could not stop circling. You have the Target app. You have a Circle account? Target knows your purchase history with a level of detail that is actually kind of remarkable. They know which size, which flavor, which day of the week you typically shop. That data infrastructure exists. It works. They use it to send you a coupon for the exact brand of coffee you bought last month. So why, when a product you purchase gets a Class 1 FDA recall, does that same infrastructure not fire an alert to your phone within 24 hours? Because it was never legally required to. The recall notification system in the United States was built around one primary obligation: get the product off retail shelves. The FDA issues the recall. The retailer removes the inventory. That transaction is considered the primary compliance event. What happens after, reaching the actual human beings who already bought the product and have it at home, is largely voluntary, discretionary, inconsistent across every retailer operating in this country. Researchers at the Rutgers Food Policy Institute studied consumer recall awareness directly. Their findings were stark. The majority of consumers could not correctly identify a product they had personally purchased as recalled, even after the recall had been publicly announced and covered. Not because consumers are careless, because a system optimized around shelf clearance was never redesigned around consumer reach. Target followed standard industry procedure on both recalls. This is not a story about Target acting outside the rules. This is a story about the rules having a gap in them, and that gap being wide enough for two serious recalls to pass through while most affected customers remained completely unaware. Here's the specific detail I kept returning to. When I went through the FDA records on the allergen recall and looked at the actual timeline, there is a processing window between when a problem is identified internally and when the public recall gets posted. The FDA process involves a health hazard evaluation, a voluntary action from the manufacturer or retailer, internal documentation, and then public posting. Even in the fastest-moving cases, that window is measured in days. For lower urgency classifications, it can be longer. During that entire window, the product is still on shelves. People are still buying it, still bringing it home, still feeding it to their families. This is standard. This is normal. This is the same window every major food brand in America operates inside. But here is what nobody tells the average shopper. That window exists. Most people assume recalls are real time, that the moment something is flagged internally, a notification fires and the product disappears from shelves the same day. That is not what happens. There is a lag. It is structural. It is built into the process by design. And during that lag, the trust you extended to that brand is sitting in your refrigerator, and nobody has told you yet. 3 things, specific, in order of effort. Right now, takes 90 seconds. Open your browser. Go to fda.gov. Click Recalls and Safety Alerts. Type in any brand you buy regularly. Good & Gather Kirkland, 365, Great Value, whatever is physically in your kitchen at this moment. Every recall ever issued, every classification level, every date. It is all there. Most people have done this exactly 0 times in their lives. You now know this database exists. That alone puts you ahead of the majority of people buying these products every week. If you shop Target, every purchase needs to go through a Target Circle account, not guest checkout. When Target does push direct recall notifications, they go exclusively to loyalty account holders where a purchase match exists. Guest checkout leaves 0 trace. They have no record of you, no way to reach you, no ability to close that gap even if they wanted to. It is not a perfect notification system, but it is the only direct layer that exists. And most shoppers are opting out of it without realizing what they are opting out of. One assumption to permanently retire. Stop treating a major retailer's name on a product as a guarantee that you will be found if something goes wrong. Here's where I actually landed after going through all of this. 2 recalls in a product line of thousands is not a statistically remarkable rate for a food brand this size. Recalls happen across every major brand at every major retailer. That is not the story. The story is what was sold alongside the product. Good & Gather sold you the idea that Target's name meant the work was already done, that trust was the product itself, built into the packaging. And when 2 serious recalls happened and the notification system failed to reach most affected customers, the brand's reputation emerged completely intact. Because most buyers never found out. Because the system was never redesigned to tell them. Because standard procedure and actually protected are 2 different things that most shoppers have never had reason to separate. A brand reputation that survives not because nothing went wrong, but because the people it affected were never reached. That is worth sitting with longer than this video lasts. If any of this connects to a specific allergy or health decision in your household, that conversation belongs with your doctor or allergist. They have context no database can give you. The full private label investigation, who actually manufactures store brand products, what labeling laws genuinely require, and how major retailers compare head-to-head on recall response time. That one is already up.